Welcome back, friends. Zach here. I'm the host of the Underground Safari, and I am also a full-time reseller. I mainly specialize in sourcing clothing and shoes, but I also dabble in hard goods, anything vintage, anything cool and rusty, anything collectible. I don't mind buying it to resell for profit. So this morning, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and share with you some of my recent sales. Yesterday was Christmas Day, so I didn't ship anything out, which meant I had a stockpile of things that needed processed this morning, and it gave me the opportunity to go ahead and share them with you. Now, typically I like to do this in short format, but I decided today to go ahead and slow it down a bit, make a longer length video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share with you the brand, gonna tell you what I sold it for, what I paid for it, give you an idea of certain keywords I used in the description to help sell the item. And I hope all of these things just help you to get a better idea of what brands to sell, how to list your items, and overall just to have more success with your reselling endeavors and maybe your up and coming reselling business. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with a pair of Carhartt ripstop pants. These pants here I sourced just a few weeks back in Albuquerque, New Mexico at a Goodwill. I was able to source a lot of 4, but I went ahead and separated them out and I'm selling them individually. And so these only sold for $22. I did take an offer that was a little bit low on them, but I kind of wanted to gauge the market because these are blue ripstop and the blue colorway wasn't as popular, even though the ripstop is somewhat of an upgraded material. These sold for $22, plus I tacked on a flat rate of $10 shipping. And generally I make a little bit off my shipping, which helps pay for the processing, helps pay for the packaging, the box, the paper I wrap the items in. But nonetheless, keywords I used on this pair of pants were durable, work, security guard, heavy, Detroit. All of those keywords can be interchanged with different Carhartt items, and I typically use a lot of those same keywords when I sell Carhartt jackets, as that's one of the things I love to sell and one of the things that's most profitable in my business. But you can't go wrong with Carhartt. I always say Carhartt is my business partner because it's probably the thing I sell the most of, and the reason that is because I live in an area where there's a lot of work utility industry, and I can find these type of items very easily. So I've said this in past videos, if you live in an area that's similar to that, or you live in an area where there's a lot of golf courses, or maybe you live in an area where there's a lot of country western wear items, source those items. You'll have greater success with finding items that are more common in your areas. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip on past this item. This next item, as we speak of sourcing items that are common in your area, is a Bulwark men's flame resistant Henley. I got this for $1 at a garage sale this past summer. I only sold it for $13, but it has some stains, it has some small pinholes. And when you're selling flame resistant items, just be good about denoting the flaws. Many of them are gonna have stains and small holes, and I'm still able to sell these garments like that, but you just need to put it out there in your listing that it has some type of issue with it, and then that way you won't get a return down the road. When I like to use keywords for items such as this, I'll put oil filled, roustabout, driller, pumper, mechanic. I'll put construction, electrician. Any type of labor field that uses flame resistant clothing is going to be looking for items like this. And I sell this stuff all day long. Does it sell for a whole lot? No, it doesn't usually. The best brands I like to go after with flame resistant clothing are Carhartt and Carhartt. I think that they garnish the most money, and that's probably because they're just better known and they cost more when you buy them brand new. But nonetheless, be on the lookout for brands like Bulwark, Rasco, Lapco. There's other brands out there that sell flame resistant materials that are really good on the resale market. So I'm gonna skip to this next guy. All right, so this is a bread and butter brand for me. This is 511 Tactical. Now I tend to sell more of their pants, typically ripstop cargo pants. This is actually a caped shooting shirt. And what I mean by caped is it has this little vent on the back of it. And you could put vented, you could put caped in your description. You could put pockets. What I like to use is keywords like shooting, tactical, competition shooting, anything like that. You could put security guard, because sometimes a lot of security guards like to wear this type of brand because it looks very tactical. And I like this brand because it just consistently sells for me. Again, it doesn't sell for a whole lot, but when I buy into it, I try to buy into it for very cheap, knowing that it's not going to sell for a lot. So always have metrics, always be sure that you're being smart about your costs of what you're paying for goods, that's really where you get all your profit. So this item here, this 511 tactical shirt, is sold for $17 plus shipping. I think I only paid $3.50 for it at a thrift store about a month back. So another bread and butter. This is just a Wrangler flame resistant Rigs work shirt. I sold this for $16 plus some shipping. I did have it listed at like $20, but I went ahead and took a low offer because I'd had it for a few months. Wrangler is not the best brand when it comes to flame resistant, but I have sold 3 shirts just like this in the past year, and I've also sold some of their flame resistant denim jeans. I also don't feel like they sell as good as Carhartt or Carhartt, but they do sell. Those cowboys out there love the brand Wrangler, and so I think I only gave like $2 for this at a garage sale, and this is the kind of stuff I find at garage sales through the summer that I'll store on the back burner for the winter months, and that way I have something to put in a winter death pile. And in the summer, these long sleeve shirts, despite being work utility, will sell, but they tend to sell better in the colder months. That's really when there's an uptick on industry workers looking for these garments and not wanting to pay a whole lot for them. So Wrangler FR, be on the lookout for. So this next shirt is one of the things I really love to source. This is a Carmen vintage pearl snap Western shirt, but it also has the embroidery on both shoulders. And that's something that really sells with these Western shirts, whether it be the old school cowboy look or the rockabilly look. There's guys out here that are looking for these type shirts. So other brands that create shirts like this are Scully. There's some more modern brands that do this as well. Anytime you see a pearl snap shirt that has embroidery on it, and sometimes it might even be on the back, pick it up if the cost is right for you. These shirts sell well. I only gave a few dollars for this at a garage sale, and it sold for $19 plus shipping. Some of the keywords I used were vintage cowboy, retro, rodeo, farm, feedlot, barn, chore, rustic, you name it. Anything you can think of that will attach some type of semblance or connection to this Western shirt, write it down in your description. It'll just help garnish more sales and get you sales quicker. So now I'm moving into some items that are a little bit more pricey. These are still kind of some bread and butter brands for me. So this is a cool story here. I sourced this North Face Thermo Ball puffer. It is a camo colorway. It's white and gray. This thing was filthy. I got it like a week and a half ago. It looked like it was just covered in dust, mud, and dirt. It almost had a red tint to it, and I was very torn because I sourced it from a very expensive thrift store in Durango, Colorado, and I paid way up for this, way more than I probably should have. Paid $30, and I normally wouldn't do that, but I kind of wanted to challenge myself because my partner in crime, my janitor, the person who's responsible for my cleaning services with this business, which is OxyClean, helped me get this jacket nearly completely clean. It was so clean that I had no need to list any type of flaws or any blemishes on it. I was shocked. The secret to this though is I sprayed nearly a half a bottle of OxyClean spray on the jacket. I let that dry out, and then the very next day I let this soak in OxyClean powder detergent in my washing machine overnight in cold water, and then the next day I went ahead and turned it on, let it run through the cycle. Before I dried it, I checked it, made sure it was pretty clean and didn't need another treatment, and I went ahead and dried it. And when I pulled it out of the dryer, like I said, it was pretty darn spotless. So I went ahead and took a little bit of a lower offer. I was hopefully trying to get closer to 80 bucks for this, considering it's camo, and camo is pretty hot right now. But I did take an offer of $72 and some shipping on top of that, and I'll make a little bit of profit on the shipping because these guys pack up and they're very lightweight. So I'm happy with that. I always like to get my money back pretty quick when I pay up for items, especially when I pay way up, and this is one of them. But North Face puffers, definitely one of my bread and butter items. So I'm winding it down now. I just got a couple more items. This is a Burn vintage work utility jacket. I did pay almost $15 for this item at my local Goodwill. I did sell this for $44 plus shipping. It doesn't have a size tag, so I had to go ahead and denote that. I had to put hand measures down so that way people knew what size they were buying. And all in all, I used the same keywords I would use for any type of flame resistant or industrial clothing. I put oil filled, I put heavy equipment operator, I put welder, welding, pipeline. Any of those kind of things are gonna catch the attention of guys that do industrial work and hopefully get you a quicker sale. So here's my business partner once again, and this is a cool story on this jacket. I bought this at the beginning of this past summer for $5. I actually bought 3 jackets just like this. These Arctic style Carhartt jackets are a little bit slower to sell, and I found last winter that they really started selling better for me after the holiday. I imagine that's probably because the winter weather just gets worse. So this guy right here sold for $78 plus shipping. I used the same keywords I would use on any type of work utility item, same as any of the flame resistant items I just kind of described. And so I love Carhartt, and I have found through selling Carhartt that the gravel gray colorway and the moss green typically will garnish you a little bit more money if you know to list those items a little higher. So I'm coming down to the last 2 items. I haven't been selling a whole lot of shoes lately, but that's probably because I haven't been sourcing as many. I think most clothing resellers kind of get a little tired of shoes because a lot of shoes need cleaned and shoes are dirty. And so my time is becoming worth more than to have to invest in cleaning old dirty shoes. But I am still picking up really great brands. And so these are Limbs, and Limbs is a great outdoor brand. These are super durable shoes. Unfortunately, I didn't get quite what I had hoped for these. I did pay $10.19 for these at a thrift store. They did sell for $40 plus shipping. I was really hoping to get closer to $45 or $48, but they had some wear, which is pretty common with those outdoor adventure brands, especially when it comes to shoes. They're often pretty beat up. I use keywords like camping, hiking, trail, climbing, outdoor, mountaineering. All of those are going to attach that connection to that outdoor lifestyle of people that like to source these kind of brands. And I love selling adventure apparel. It's very predominant in the area I live because I live very close to Southern Colorado. So you can see there's kind of a trend here. I'm just trying to find the things and source the things that are most common to my area. It makes it a little easier for me, and it makes it a lot easier to have a death pile that is consistent and doesn't run out. So coming down to the very last item that I have pulled out, this is just an Osprey business bag. I've had this about 6 months now. I only paid $4 for it at a thrift store up in Colorado. Unfortunately, this guy is missing a zipper pull. It also has a very large hole right in the top flap of the bag's zipper, and it's got some stains to the bottom. And so these are all things that I was very pragmatic about denoting because I didn't want somebody to buy this and return it. It's listed as distressed, that it has a hole, but I love Osprey. Again, it's a great outdoor brand, and if you can find this brand in backpacks or any other type of stowaway gear, can usually garnish pretty good money if it's in good condition. Typically when I find it, I kind of grinch it or hold it to myself, and so I have several Osprey hiking bags as well as a camel pack, and I just keep them for myself because they cost so much money brand new. And so this is just another item that I come across very commonly, and I use keywords like business, travel, comfort, laptop case. All of those things kind of help connect a great brand to another function, and that is its purpose with business use. And so hopefully all of these items that I'm sharing with you today are going to give you a better item of what things to source and how to list them so that you have greater success with your reselling business. And I very much enjoy doing this slower format of what I sold, so I'd look to do more videos like this in the future. Lastly, I just want to say, as my channel has been growing, that I'm very grateful for all the new subscribers, especially all you guys out there that are actually resellers that have more experience, and especially the ones that have begun giving me great advice on areas to source around where I live. Thank you so much. I'm trying my hardest to share with you and be honest with you the ups and downs of reselling, but also the fun and reward that comes with it. And so I always say, if you're tired of your job, if you're tired of the status quo of working with other people that are crappy and having crappy bosses, think about working for yourself. There's no other change in my life that's been more rewarding in the past 20 years than doing what I'm doing right now. And what I love about it is I get this give back to share with you all my success. So thanks again. If you like this video, please hit like, make a comment, or please subscribe to the Underground Safari. I'm super grateful for your time.